Yes, YouTube, welcome back to another video. As you can hear from the microwave, we're on. We're trying the cream of rice. This is my post-workout. You know I'm an oats man. It takes a lot more preparation, so time-wise, this ain't great for me. But I'm sure I could cut that down. I'm not an experienced cream of rice maker, boys. So we're gonna see. I've made the mistake in the past. I have had cream of rice before. I've not had performs before, but I've made the mistake in the past of just kind of leaving it in the microwave and then it just turned into a brick. Whereas now, to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna be far off here, boys. I think the key to the cream of rice is making sure that you do stir. So I do not want to make that mistake and be left with an absolute brick. That is not too far off how I want it. So hopefully I get this bang on. I'm going to get it in the freezer whilst I get my steps done. But that, you know what, is actually looking pretty decent. I'm going to give it a tiny little bit longer. Still a bit runny, but you know what, boys? I think first time we might have nailed. Let's see. Right, fellas, I'm not going to lie. I think texture-wise, I've pretty much nailed it, mate. All you boys overcomplicating that like it's some fucking science project, mate. I've just made sure I give it a good stir and we're bang on. So, you cream of rice connoisseurs, come on, bro. Come on, that was easy. Right, so what I'm going to do, we're going to get the old bloobs on top. We've got 50 gram. I've had to put a little bit more peanut butter in there because obviously I usually have oats, right? And it's just brought my fats down with having cream of rice rather than the oats. So what we've got is 18 grams, very random, but 18 grams of the old PB for the fats. So I'm going to get this around the edge, and then I'm going to get the whey around the edge as well, and then we're going to get the old whey paste and cinnamon on the go. So the same ingredients as my normal oats, but just a little bit more peanut butter, like I said, for the fat. So then macro wise, we're matched up. So whey paste we shall get around the edge now. Pretty glorious then, boys. I'm not gonna lie, I've not got as much whey in this meal. I should have saved myself some from my pre. It was a spur of the moment decision to go for the cream of rice today, so I got back a little bit earlier. So that's all on top. I'm gonna bang in a little bit of the old sweet cinnamon all over. We'll get that around the edge first, boys. Right, there we go. So that is gonna go in the freezer now whilst I go do some steps, get back to the boys. So to be honest, it's quite a glorious looking bowl, that, boys, isn't it? That looks not bad. Let's clean up the sides and give it a try. My hands are clean. I've washed them. On its own, just tastes all right. With all the goodness, should be sound. So let's stick it in the freezer, because I've been liking the cold oats, haven't I? So I think that's going to be like a nice dessert. Nice post-workout dessert. So that's going to be about half an hour. I'll show you when I get it out. Let's go and get some steps done, but welcome to the video, fellas. Enjoy. Let's roll. Welcome, squad. You're out with me. I thought, you know what? I'm about to sit down for 5 hours. Let's not just lock in on the treadmill. Let's actually get out and get some steps done. So I'm going to get out. I'm going to get a nice little 4K done, and then I'll be within striking distance of the 10K. So if you watch these vids all the time, you will know, obviously, the last vid, I'm just sorting digestion out a little bit at the minute. I think because we reversed out so well and food got up very quickly, digestion towards the end of the day has just been off it. So in the last vid, I showed you the apple cider vinegar we've got twice, fasted and before meal 4. I've got in digestive enzyme twice. I've got in probiotics as well. So I think I've just, from pushing that hard, I would say 6 weeks before my show, it's just taken its toll a little bit, and then I'm not breaking everything down very well. So once we've pushed that food like above that 3K, since I got back from holiday, that's when weights actually spiked. So I came up to 78
75.05. I've actually been back down now to 77.65, which is good. That's what we want. And like times like this, like that's not fun for me. Like I don't want to be needing to bring that back down. Like this is through essentially, like it's nothing that I've come off plan that's caused this. Like I have stuck to my food to a T. I've not had one day over, as you've seen. So it is just something I've got to deal with. And like, if you watch these videos and you're like, right, Luke's on it all the time, every single week, 365 days a year, never has time where he's like massively messed up the plan and done this and done that. And this is why, right, like even on the weeks that's not so fun, the good weeks come when you just get stuff done. Like it doesn't need to be fun for this week, it just needs doing. That's so important. Yeah, if that is you right now and you need to do something to fix something that's not the most fun in the world, like I want to be going into training knowing that that food's up now, but this needs sorting. There's no point pushing that food and driving when my digestion's a little bit all over the place. So that now is exactly what we're doing, and that is something that people struggle with a lot. Like people can be on it when, you know, the holidays booked, the shoots booked, all of those things, but the most important thing is just consistently turn up, right? Like I know every day, right, what's the plan, what am I doing with training, what am I doing with food, what am I doing with work, let's go, and I'll get after it. And it doesn't really matter how I feel. Like for example, outside the gym before, I was like, oh, do you know what, I'm not as up for this as I normally am, and I know that that's absolutely fine. So what I do is I just get in there, I look what numbers I've got to beat, and I get after it. And when you get in the habit of just doing that, you're absolutely flying, because you have one week where it's a bit meh, but you've still give it 110% and you've still worked, and anyone else looking from outside in would just think it's like a completely normal week. When you get those weeks stacked, you might then have 6 weeks on the bounce where you're flying, and that's why it's so important. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to take my check-in tomorrow morning, and then we'll see what the game plan is. Potentially driving that food back up. We'll see where scale it is in the morning. We'll see visuals compared to last week, and then we'll just push, because we looked at visuals last week, jumped up to 78, looked a little bit softer, looked a little bit watery. We were like, right, something's off here. Like we need to make sure we're processing everything properly. So that is the game plan. I will keep you posted with it, and then we are back to pushing nice and controlled. But these things happen, and you know, you have to manage these things, especially when you've pushed your body to those extremes. Sometimes you've got to just play catch up a little bit and get things sorted before moving forward. So it's one step back, 2 steps forward type of vibe this week, maybe for another week as well. We'll see. The number one thing is make sure I'm actually processing this food properly, because if your digestion is miles off it, guess what? You ain't utilizing that food like you should be. So you're pretty much just wasting your time getting that in, which is not what we want to do. Nobody likes wasting time. So let's get back. It's nearly 3 p.m. We shall dig into what is the post-workout and now the post-steps. But we're making the most of no rain and getting some sunlight, because that is going to be legit 5 hours sat back at the desk cooking up with the fellas. So let's get back. Let's finish these steps. If you're still thinking, Luke, mate, is that the pink yogurt, what is it? Yogurtland spoon from Dubai? Yeah, it is. It's a great spoon. It's small and it lets me eat slow. So I'm not going to lie, boys. These have been in the freezer. I'll spin you and I'll show you. It's not looking bad, is it? For a first try ever, it ain't looking bad. So far, so good. Preparation time was more, which we know is not ideal for myself, but let's at least give it a try. Let's give it a good chance and let's see, because I've never tried cream of rice made this well. So this has been in the freezer. It's texture-wise, it's good, mate. It's good. So, do you know what, boys? I'm not used to it. It's still a weird one. I'm used to the oats, but that is not bad. That is not bad at all. So nailed it. I'm gonna enjoy it. We'll get some YouTube on. Solid. Yeah, squad. Good morning. The Alphamobile is sounding rusty, boys. What the hell is going on? It's been used. It's been used quite a lot. this week. So got 5 lots of 20 going in now. I'm just about to get my check-in filled in and get that over to Ben and see what the game plan wants to be. So I was 78 again this morning. I don't know why that's back there. We were rolling through into the 77, so we'll see where we're at. I'll show you where the visuals were at from this morning. My 2 front shots there. Definitely more happy with them than I was last week. If they're not focusing, boys, I apologise, but either way, we'll see what the game plan is. I'll get this 20 done. Wow, so that is cardio done. So yeah, scale, it was coming down really nicely. We just wanted that little bit of a tidy this week, and then this morning it was back up to 78. I'm not sure why. It's been 77.6 before that, so it's a tricky one. And I just said that to Ben there, like, it's a tricky situation because the reason I've not eaten over my calories one day I've not had this cookie, this, that. My body just gains body fat so easily, so I have to be careful with it. And to be honest, like, it's fucking annoying, right? I wish it wasn't the case. Like, genuinely, boys, if you watch the video, you see how bang on I am. You see how consistent food is, right? Like, even when I was away, I made sure everything was bang on. And scale weight was not up when I was away. That's the thing. Like, it was when I got home that we saw that spike up. So it is frustrating. It is annoying. And this is when, boys, like, you will have these times where your body is just not doing what you want it to do, and it's annoying. So you have to be smart, be patient, and then just keep on pushing forward. It can annoy you, and that's fine. But don't throw your toys out the pram. Don't start then, falling off and dropping your standards. Like, that's something that I will never do. It just is what it is. Some boys can, we've got some of the boys on the team where they'll be, 10 kilo up and condition barely changes. And that's unbelievable. Like, that's absolutely what we want to rinse. And genetic set points have a big part to play in it. And we just have to be smart. We just have to be smart with what we're doing. So there's no rush, there's no pressure. I just obviously want to make sure I'm moving forwards now. That's the main thing. I think we obviously didn't anticipate how much of a problem digestion would be because the last jump in food was quite a big one. I think we added 250 calories onto the training day. I think that, because it's just not sat well, my body's just been like, nah. And then that's a little bit softer. We were into the 78s, and then that's just what we've got to play catch up with. But we'll learn from that. I don't think my body can handle, to be honest, if I make more than a 150 cal change, I think that would be, if it's not perfect, I think my body just says, oh, nice, boom, let's add a decent bit of body fat on there. Like, that's just how my body's always been, right? So it's just about making smaller jumps, I think, once we start pushing up again. And that's fine. And that's when, we'll look at these situations, and I've got to give Ben that honest feedback from my side with what I can see, because obviously I do know my body very, very well, but then when there's a decision made, I'll always stick to it and I'll always do it. So I think that's the main thing there. But either way, I'm still on it with everything. We're still rolling. We're on 20 past 11 on the rest day today. So I'm going to just let my heart rate come down for about 15, and then I'm going to eat, and then I've got a call with Josh, just mapping out pretty much the game plan now. From a business standpoint, making sure Coaching Coliseum is the best that it possibly can be. That is what it's all about. When I'm so focused on what I'm doing, and when I'm so focused on coaching and the ins and outs of that, I need to make sure everything's set as much as possible, because we need our standards across the board to be absolutely nailed and moving forward and progressing in the right way, doing the right things. That's the most important for me, and that's getting people results. That is what any coaching business should be built around. There is a big push to be, doing this, doing that, whatever it is. Like, if you cannot coach properly, like, that is the absolute base of every single business. And that, well, it's not, and that's the problem. It should be, and it's definitely the base of ours. So chill, get the oats down me, and then we'll jump on with Josh and game plan. And the mother brought me a nice monster round the other day, so that is going to be the rest day monster, and it's going to be nice because it's very much appreciated. Always a nice little gift. Mum knows me too well. Bring me a nice monster, been in the fridge. Bellissimo. So I'll tell you what we should do. We should check the weather before putting a hat on and getting ready to go outside, because it's raining. It's very much raining. So what we shall do now instead, we shall prepare the other bowl of oats for the day, and I'm going to get back up because it is raining rather heavily. and I will do some steps on the old treadmill. So, not ideal, but these things happen. So let's prepare the oats because they're going to go in the freezer and they are going to be far more glorious. I was saying this to Cody when Cody was here, right? We absolutely love our oats. We just literally talk. We could talk about oats for about 2 hours. Because I am trying to eat a lot slower from a digestion standpoint, freezing them or just putting them, not literally freezing them, banging them in the freezer for a bit or in the fridge for a bit, takes me a lot longer to eat. When they're hot, I just literally go blah, 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 and fucking fly through them, which I don't want to be doing. So I'm going to keep them cold, and if you've not tried them cold, they are banging cold. So less today because it's a rest day, but elite either way. We just got a solid amount of steps in the bag. We're on 7k. We've got a good old Ultra Peachy Keen. Not had it for a while. So what we're going to do is we're going to let the Instagram world know that we're having a monster. We'll clean my camera. It's just got to be done on it, boys. There's nothing better than a nice cold one. And a big work block, right? So we'll share that on there. And you boys, because you are the YouTube squad, you will get the crack. So let's have a listen up. Ready? Oh, yes. Any smokers? No, that's all right. Cold, nice and cold. Oh, it's nice, you know. I've not had it. Tell you what, I'm not usually a peach man. I had the peach, we gave the peach sweets or peach treats, perform free. I took that to the team day for the boys and got me cocktails in the boot of my car and spread them out just because it's what we do. So we had that for the boys there. That was actually nice. And this one's nice. I've not had this one for ages. I've probably not had this one for like a year. It's not one that I'd get all the time. It's not the daily driver, is it? But it's a nice little drop top that you'd have on a nice summer's day. Do you know what I mean? Not the daily one. We're not taking the kids to school. We're not driving to the gym in the Ultra Peachy Keen. We're driving to the gym in the White Monster, but it's a little convertible, mate, that we're whizzing about. It's a little like old school convertible that we get out every now and again. So I'm going to stop blabbering about cars that I don't know about. I'm going to get cracking on with some work because we've got a lot to do. So we had the cream of rice, but I'm telling you, fellas, I'm telling you, I called this the Mayweather on my story this morning. It's undefeated, mate. I'm sorry, it is undefeated. When this has been in the freezer now, this texture, boys, right? It's undefeated. There's enough flavour because obviously I love the whey. So, for example, this morning we had the cookie dough. Then now we've got the Dubai choc. Right, you just can't miss, mate. You just can't miss. So, of course, anything from Perform, make sure you use the Luke 25 and make sure, I've seen some fire orders this week. Always send me through your order, especially when you use the link that's in the description because I do massively appreciate it. So if you use that, that's got Luke 25 already on it, 25%. And I will, I'll have a look through and see what you've gone for and give my opinions. But right now, the mystery box is still on and there's a lot of deals coming. So it is a good old time. Max, shout out Max. Max has just got a fucking fire mystery box as well. I think he got the cream of rice, electrolytes, pre there, and then the cream. So there's been some good ones. There's been some good ones knocking about. But we're going to eat this, and I'm going to enjoy it very much. I'm going to probably watch some boxing stuff and some UFC stuff. There's big cards, mate. I'm going to go a JDM win this weekend. I think he beats Islam. I actually commented on a TikTok. If you watch UFC, when JDM beat Randy Brown, I commented on it. It was like 2 years before he won the belt. I was like, he's going to be champ. And someone replied to it once he won the belt, obviously, because it must have been popping up on his page. And I was like, oh my God, I literally forgot about that. He said, like, you called it. And it was ages ago. So, big JDM fan. I think he's going to beat Islam. And then I think, boxing-wise, Saturday night, I think Eubank will be too good. I think he'll be a lot more controlled. And I think Eubank on points. So I'm going to go JDM, either points or I'd say I finish in the second or third, you know. I think he can if he really goes for it and puts his foot on the gas. I don't think he'll spark him clean. I think he can hurt him to the body and then get a finish. So I'm going to go JDM either points or second or third, and I'll go Eubank points. I don't think he'll get him out of there, so they're the predictions. Big weekend of fights. So we have decaf in hand, and as you can see on the rest day, a lot of work just gets done. We're going to go back up now. I have an application response to fire out. That has just come through. So if you do send one through with your goals, and this one is very detailed, which is fantastic. It's essentially how we can nail a gaining phase now after actually losing a lot of body fat, because that is so difficult to do. So these things, this is when my brain just sparks. And I love it because when you've done this for as long as I have, you know exactly what you need to do. I can send this over now with full confidence that, right, this is exactly what you need to do and why. And that's why I love it, right? So I'm going to get this sent over. As always, if you would like yours, the link is in the description. Just literally let me know your goals in as much detail as you can. It's fantastic. And then I can give you a really in-depth breakdown of what the game plan would look like to get you where you want to be. So that is a big day of work done, and that wraps up this video. So in the next ones, I'll let you know what is happening with the food, what is happening with the physique, what's the plan of action. But what we do is we keep the head screwed on, we keep ticking the boxes, and we keep plowing through. Always, right? We live and we learn, we make these improvements. So there is no stress, and apply that same thing to your life. When there's a bit of adversity there, it can easily give you a wobble, it can easily be annoying. Do what you need to do. Doesn't matter if on that day you can't be arsed doing it. Do what you need to do, because you will thank yourself and you will be 10 steps ahead than if you didn't do that, right? So that is so, so important. So big stuff coming, a lot coming with coaching. Just been working on something exciting there. Obviously a lot coming with training, a lot coming with the channel, a lot coming with everything. So foot is firmly on the gas. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching. If you have watched this far, please do drop me a like, drop me a comment. And if you're subbed, you're an absolute G. So if you're not, hit that button and it is massively appreciated. I will see you in the next one. Peace.